Hi, and welcome to today's video where I will be talking about AI in project budgeting and cost estimation, and obviously minimizing overruns. In today's video, what I will be covering is, basically, the basics of project budgeting, what you need to manage, and most project managers already know that. What is AI and how can it help? There's a few things I'll cover on that, and the main components around what's involved in those AI areas. Some of the benefits of AI I'll cover, provide you some real world examples of where AI has been used, and then I'll go into some of the limitations and then we will conclude. So, without delay, let's move on to the first topic. So, as you know, within projects, budgeting is a big one. And as you know, what is the basics of project budgeting? So, as you know, as part of the project, or you may not know, I keep saying as you know, but as part of projects, a project manager will need to be able to get a budget which confirms how much they can spend or within that budget to deliver it. That budget then obviously is managed throughout the project life cycle, really giving you a definition of what you can use and how you manage within those constraints of that budget, i.e., resource, buying kit, bringing in third parties, etc. And some of the basics really are, common issues that you encounter with project budgeting is really, unforeseen project complexities. Things come into the mix which add more complexity, which require budget, more time, etc. You got poor communication, where you aren't communicating correctly, which causes issues on the budget. Inadequate risk management, you're not looking at all the risk, and if you're not managing the risk, you're not able to predict any issues or concerns that may be happening. So all that needs to be taken. And then you've got market or business in fluctuations. You might have a change of plan, or something happens which deviates a project, or you adding or taking away features which include change management throughout that. So those, basically, a budget is something that's given to you as a project manager, which then you manage throughout the project lifecycle to make sure you try to maintain that project, and any variances should be managed via change control. So, what is AI and how can it help? So, basically, briefly, AI is, it's computers performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. So, anything that's repetitive or can be pretty much automated, AI can do, and it can actually evaluate data, etc. Uh, so, really, what are the main components of AI? In reference to budgeting. So, there's a few areas here. So, the first one is machine learning AI. Now, the definition here is machine learning is a subset of AI that allows computers to learn from and make predictions based on data. Now, again, good data gives you good information, bad data gives you bad data, but I'll cover that in a bit more detail. And how ML or machine learning works in budgeting is it analyzes historical project data, learns from past budgeting successes and failures, and then it predicts costs based on new projects and parameters. But again, if your input is bad, your output is generally going to be bad. Next one is neural networks. Now, the definition of neural networks is basically using an algorithm designed to recognize patterns. So, the structure is layers of interconnected nodes mirroring the human brain. That's how it's so neural networks, which works in the brain. And when its application within budgeting, it's basically recognizing complex or financial patterns in vast data sets. So, AI will look through data, analyze it, and come up with, oh, I can see a pattern, we can do this, we can do that, and also give you some predictions as more data is added. And the more information you put in, the more information you will get out. The next one is deep learning. Now, here is, well, it's a subset of ML, which is the machine learning using neural networks with multiple layers and bringing it all together. And it's niche here is it's really good at handling large data sets. And then within its application within budgeting, it analyzes multi-dimensional project data like timetable shifts, resource changes, and much, much more, which then it can then say, oh, actually the resource is not available, that person's not available, or there's going to be an impact in the future, etc. Which from a project perspective is a massive help. And again, it provides you more accurate and cost estimations to help you with your project and make sure that you are driving it in real driving it forward, staying within that budget, which is key and keeps all the accountants really happy. Um, so there is data-driven approach of AI. Now, this is basically, well, when I say data-driven is, I keep saying it earlier, was, the importance of good quality data, which helps AI do its predictions. You put in bad data, your predictions were wrong, so everything you do will have a negative impact. So, there's pros and cons to this, has to be really good. Now, the difference between traditional estimation, AI driven estimation. So traditional, often based on, your gut feelings or basic statistical models or something that some accountants or another person's that got information for you. Whereas AI driven is based on extensive data analysis now and pattern recognition, and it can adjust in real time, which from a project perspective, if you've got a huge project with multiple project managers or you've got multiple stakeholders doing stuff, it could analyze and crunch that data very, very quickly and give you a real big overview. So again, the next bit I was going to go is collaboration of humans and AI. Now, here I have to emphasize that AI is not 100% going to replace it just yet, and I don't think it will ever in the future. But you have to make sure that AI is being managed by human experts. There is still areas for it to be wrong. We can't solely rely on it, and therefore, at the moment, there is still a requirement for human intervention. And I would say human experts within the project field, managing budgets, etc. And as project managers, that will be you to make sure that the information that comes out of AI is really good. And again, you can't beat human intuition based, whereas AI, it's just based on looking at crunching data, and human intuition is it just at this moment in time cannot be replaced. However, there are loads of benefits of AI in project management. So again, a few examples are predictive analysis. It could predict possible overruns based on historical data. It can adjust expectations and planning in real time, a lot more efficient than we can do. Risk management is another one. AI's ability is to factor in multiple risk variables. Again, good data in, good will give you good data out, but that's really important. And then, it could offer you a more comprehensive risk profile, which is really key. The other one is, and it could affect, really improve and your communication with the team, because it's able to analyze vast amounts of past project data. So you can look at risks, you can communicate those things. It also, it can automate reminders and notification regarding budget. Are you checking this, etc., and then give you real time updates to your budget utilization. So you are, rather than having to do a weekly overview of your budget, you can get daily real time information, which is a massive, massive opportunity. Now, a few examples that we have is, case studies, there are loads out there, but AI has been, successfully introduced to many budget processes across many businesses. And I'm not going to name any, just in case I get in trouble, but they have seen massive, massive tangible results. Now, I have seen this in a few organizations. One of the projects I did before, where they put a small, very small internal AI into place, which meant automating invoice processes. It did reduce the headcount. However, the business didn't remove the headcount. They reutilized, retrained people to do other work, which was more important, and took away the mundane processing of invoicing, which was done then automated, and then AI was able to process that and put that into its financial database. But again, it's really, really good at doing those repetitive things. So there are limitations. It's not the magic bullet, and it's always important that we don't have over reliance just yet on AI, because obviously the AI algorithm is learning. How do you manage it? Where does the data sit? All those things come into consideration. And again, you've got to make sure that you have human intervention and oversight. And there are ethical considerations into how the data is handled, where the data's gone, data protection, GDPR. There's a whole raft of things that haven't really been thought about just yet, but are on the verge of being discussed. And I think moving forward, it's will be integrated into everyday life. But how that data is held, who holds that data, who owns that data, is a discussion still to be had. And I think at the moment, not many people know what there is. So in summary, AI for budgeting is really good. It's coming. You've got main components such as machine learning, neural networks, and deep learning, which are there. But again, good data in equals good data out. If the data is bad, you are going to get the incorrect data. There are huge benefits, predictive analysis, risk assessment, it could potentially enhance the communication, giving you real-time information so you can manage your budgets more effectively, and, flag risks early. But again, we've got to make sure that you've got human oversight, you are checking what they're doing, and also making sure that you're not over reliant on AI at this stage in time. Um, so, in summary, AI is really good, and I think it's going to bring a huge potential of great performance improvements within the project field. However, at this moment in time, I don't think there should be an over reliance, and should be really careful about how you manage and how you integrate AI within your business or within your work environment. And if you are working at home, be careful how you manage that data, because once you put the data into AI, it's using it to learn. So be very, very careful. I hope that concludes the video, and I hope that was helpful. And thank you for listening today.